Hello, welcome to another segment of my channel speaking about visa. Thank you to everybody who has watched one of my videos. Thank you for the comment, the likes, and the encouragement from every of you. In today's segment, we'll be talking about student visa. You will recall that last time we did speak about the tourist visa, and then today will be a build up of the one we spoke last time. So if you're thinking about traveling to any country on the basis of being a student, that you want to further your education outside your country of origin, then you will require the student visa. The student visa is a document that is given to you to enable you to study in that country. But in addition to that, most student visa will come with an opportunity to do some part-time job. So if you are in that segment, or you have a child, you have someone who would need the student visa, then stay tuned. What are some of the things that we'll be talking about? We want to talk about the requirement. What do you need to obtain a student visa? And why is a student visa probably better than any of the other visas that you might want to obtain? To obtain a student visa, a couple of things that you will need to know. Depending on the level that you are in your education, you probably have finished secondary school and then you want to move on to a higher education. So you want to get your bachelor degree, or you want to get your master's degree, or you want to proceed to a higher one, a PhD degree. Let's start with first the school requirement. For which of the levels that you want to go to, each school would have their specific requirement in addition to the general requirement. So your academic level needs to be at the level that is acceptable to go into the specific program you want to go to. Why it is opportune for you that sometimes you could move from your degree or your level to a different level, or your area of specialization to a different one, but in most cases, the school will want to ensure that you have the foundation that is needed to move on to that present study that you want to do. For the visa, the embassy will want to know some of the things about you. More importantly is that who is going to sponsor your education financially. So are you going to finance the education? Are you getting your parents to finance it? Are you getting a sponsor? Are you getting a scholarship? They want to know, and the evidence should show. And because they want to know, they would expect that you pay a deposit of your tuition. So if your tuition is $10,000, £10,000, what the school would expect is that you should pay a percentage of that. The more percentage you pay out of your school fees, the better for you, because it shows that you are a credible student. In addition to paying the deposit of your tuition fee, they want to also know that when you arrive in their country, you have the means to survive, and what is called the living allowance. And what they expect, based on the embassy, that the balance of your tuition plus your living allowance would need to be in your bank account or in the bank account of your sponsor. Do remember that depending on the country, some countries would specify who can be your sponsor, and it is important that you check before making the application. For some countries, the money will need to be in a bank for specific time period. So depending, they might say 1 month, 2 months, or 6 months. But what is important is that they want to know that you have that money available to you, so that you do not come to their country and become a destitute to them or a liability to the state. One thing I could tell you is foreign education or international education not only give you a qualification that you could go anywhere in the world based on the world is a global village, but it gives you a competitive edge either in your country of origin or outside your country. And I would strongly recommend that if you want to do it, it's a good thing. In addition to getting the balance of your school fees plus your living allowance, which is what is called the proof of fund, another thing that I want to check is that, of course, you have your international passport. For many of us, or for some of us, there are things that could be missing. The names on your passport might not necessarily correspond with the name of your certificate. They will also want to see your transcript from either your secondary school or from your university. Again, those are things that you need to get. There's another thing that most people struggle with. That is a personal statement. So what is a personal statement? A personal statement is a document that you explain to the school as well as to the embassy why you have decided to study in that country, why you have chosen that school, why you have chosen that course, and what you hope to do at the end of your study. And for this, I would ask you to do a lot of research to be able to write your personal statement. You will find out that once you put all the documents that are required, including your CV or your curriculum vitae, depending on the place that you're watching me from, you'll find that if you put each of these requirements in place, you would definitely get the admission you are looking for. You would also get the visa that you are looking for. Remember, when you want to make the visa application, there's a question that we usually ask you. Have you been refused visa to any country before? Please, for your benefit, if you have made visa at any point in time, do not refuse to answer that question correctly. Because if you do, you will get an automatic ban, and that is not good for you. Being refused visa in other countries before might not necessarily impact on your ability to get the visa. But if you do not disclose it, it is considered that you are lying. And lying on your visa application could give you a minimum of 10-year ban to any country. So I will tell you, please do not forget to disclose those sort of information. Remember, or finally, just a summary of what we have spoken. A student visa gives you the opportunity to go to a country outside your country of origin to study. To obtain the student visa, there are things that you need to have. First, you need your international passport, which needs to be valid. 2, you will need to have your certificate. So if it is secondary school you've completed, if it is a university, it's a diploma, you need to have those certificates in place. You will need a transcript from your school that you have completed. You would also need a CV. You will need a personal statement that will specify why you have chosen that course. Once you get all of this together, the next thing is how much of your tuition. Please do remember that you will need to pay a deposit of that tuition, the balance of your tuition plus the living allowance or the cost of living in that country. You will need to also have that in place. Next time I will be speaking about the work visa. Until then, remain blessed. My contact details still remain on the screen for you. Thank you.